Canva is a powerful tool for creating great content for your church, and you don't need to be a designer to use it. In this video, I'll show you how to leverage Canva with ChurchTrac to enhance your church's visual content. We recommend Canva to churches because they offer their pro subscription to nonprofits for free, giving you full access to their tools and resources at no cost. To apply, simply visit canva.com and at the top select the Plans and Pricing tab and then choose the Not-for-Profit option in this menu. I'll include the link to this page in the video description below. However, I need to give you a heads up. Some churches have told us that they've been denied by Canva. That's because Canva doesn't necessarily just give this out to a nonprofit. They want to know that their product is being used for the greater good. It helps to highlight the positive impact your church has on the community and how Canva will support that mission when applying. Now, getting their pro subscription for free is the primary reason we recommend this program, but we also recommend it because it comes with some really great features. Two in particular that will save you a lot of time, trust me, because they've saved me a lot of time. The best feature in Canva, bar none, is the brand kit. On the main homepage, just select the brand option in the toolbar on the far left, then choose the brand kits option in this little menu, and you can create a brand kit for your church like we've done here. I'll even show you another one that we've created for a church. There we go. So this church, they've added their logo here at the very top. They've got their brand palette with all 5 of their colors and the fonts that they're using for their church's branding. This gives you access to these assets as you make new designs, which helps you stay on brand with everything that you create. I'll give you an example real quick. So we've actually created a template, and I'll talk about this a little bit more later in this video, but we've created some templates for using in your Church Connect cards for your church app. So I'll take one of these designs, I'll select it real quick, and then what I can do is I can open up the brand kit in the menu on the left, just like it was on the main homepage, but now I'm actually in a design, and the brand kit is here for me. I have the church's logos, I've got their color palettes and their fonts that I can easily just throw into an image as I create it, just to keep everything on brand. Now the resize tool will also be your best friend as you make media for your church. This is the other feature that I love the most. That's because you can take any design you've created and then reshape it, for lack of a better word, to use elsewhere. Just as an example, let's say at this church they're preaching a sermon series on hope. And let's say this is the title card that they're using for this sermon series. It'll start every sermon, and they want to post about it online. Well, instead of creating new images to post online about this sermon series, they can just take this image and resize it to optimize this image for those other social media platforms. So all I have to do is when I'm in this image or when I'm in this design, select the resize button at the top of the screen. And there's several different suggested things to reshape it or resize it to, but there's also a menu for different things you would maybe want to create with this image. So let's say if I'm posting this on social media, I'll just open up a menu of different social media options. And let's say the church wants to take this image and post it on Instagram. So I'll say I want it to be an Instagram post, a square post. Let's say I'm going to post about it on Facebook as well. So I'll select that. It's a Facebook post and I want it to be oriented as a landscape image. And we'll use it for the YouTube thumbnail when we post about this online or when we post the sermon itself online. Now that I've got those 3 different designs selected, I'll choose the Copy and Resize button. Within just a few seconds, it resizes everything that I've just created, this main image, into 3 different designs. So I'll go ahead and open those designs. And boom, more tabs just opened up in my browser. I now have the YouTube thumbnail, that's what we're looking at, the Facebook post, and the Instagram post. That original image was just reshaped and resized to optimize it for those other platforms. I can then download them and post them online. It takes a lot of time out of your day to create this. So this is going to be your best friend. The brand kit and the resize option will both save you a ton of time as you're creating your images and your media for your church. But the real power of Canva is in its templates. That's what I meant earlier at the beginning of this video when I said you don't have to be a graphic designer to use Canva. Canva has thousands of templates that you can edit to make your own. Just as an example, let's say your church is hosting a fall festival. So if I go back to the main home screen of the Canva account, there's this Create a Design button in the top left. If I select that and then search Fall Festival, it gives me some options to choose. Let's say I want to post or create like a flyer or a poster to send out to everyone in the neighborhood to announce our fall festival to invite them to come. I'll select that option, and Canva gives me countless templates I can use to make this announcement and design this flyer. So if I select one of those templates, I can edit any of the individual elements in this template to make it what my church needs it to be. Now, we've also created some templates that your church can use, like for brochures for the church and also forms like connect cards and prayer request forms. We've also made templates that help you create amazing images to use in your connect cards within the church app that you get with your ChurchTrac account. I actually showed it to you briefly just a little while ago. So if I open up that tab again, it takes me to the file that we have for these templates. This file includes some helpful instructions. That's what these first 3 sections are for. And then template images below that for several common connect cards that churches use in their church app. You can use any of these images for your church's Connect app. Just edit each element in the template to fit your church's needs. So let's say I want to use this one as an image to take people to the YouTube channel for this church within the app. So I've got this image. I can change this element to something that better fits the tone and the style of the church. I can change the font of this image. I can change the background color. I can even add a picture or an image into the background for this to really change this and make it what my church needs. And remember, just as a reminder, the brand kit is here in the toolbar to the left. So this makes it really easy to very quickly add those assets into this image to stay on brand with your church. Now you can find these templates in our Canva for Churches user guide article, so definitely check that out. I've linked to it in the description below. Now whether you're using a template or making a design from scratch, Canva has the tools you need to make great looking media for your church. I'm going to give you a very quick crash course on how to use Canva for your church. There's a lot that Canva can do. I'm not going to cover everything. I'll be showing you a lot though, so don't hesitate to pause the video and rewind or come back to this video later as you make your designs. However, we've also done live streams in the past, hour-long live streams that cover how to use Canva for churches in more detail and also how to use templates for churches, so definitely check those out on our YouTube channel and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel as we create more content like this. Now, within a design, whenever you're creating something in Canva, I'll show you this real quick. One of the things that I am most impressed by is Canva's library of elements and graphics that you can use for free and add to an image. So whenever I'm in an image, whether I'm in this template file for Connect or if I'm creating something else, all I have to do is select the Elements button in the toolbar to the very left. You can see I've already got something loaded in here as an example. But let's say I want to create something related to prayer. I'll even create a whole new, let's go ahead and just create a whole new image in this file, and I'll show you what it's like from scratch. So I'll add a page. And let's say I want to create something around prayer. In this case, it would be for a Connect card, maybe like a prayer request form, but for anything, whether it be for a sermon or something you're posting online. Let's say you want to create something to illustrate the importance of prayer. All I have to do in this Elements menu is type in the word prayer, and it loads several different options. There's thousands of graphics I can use for this. I like this one, so I'm going to go ahead and add it to this image. Now this isn't just a static thing. I can further edit this element with the church's brand colors. So let's say I wanted to make it blue, or I can use this orange just to make it really pop and stand out. So you can take an element, add it to an image, and then further edit that element itself. You can also add images. So if I go back to the Elements menu, type in prayer, instead of going to this graphics option, I can also select and add photos. as a part of this thing that I'm creating, part of this design. So if I select that, obviously it just covered over that element, but let's say I just want to use this in this design. Another cool thing about images in Canva is that you can upload your own. In the toolbar on the left, there's an upload option. You can upload images, you can even upload videos and audio files. What's really great about uploads though, is you can further edit what you've uploaded. So if you have photos taken around your church, of the congregation worshiping, people hanging out and fellowshipping in the welcome area, or at a big event that your church is hosting, you can upload those photos into Canva and you can use Canva to edit those photos. Or you can just add those photos to a design that you're creating just like I've done here. But what's really cool about Canva is you're not just adding different elements. This is honestly a lot like Photoshop. Canva is essentially Photoshop for people that don't know how to use Photoshop, like me. I just use Canva for everything that I create. So you can go even further than just adding different elements. You can also layer these things and make it a more complex image. So let's say I want to make this the background of the image that I'm creating here. I just right-click on this. I right-clicked on that photo itself, and there's an option to set this image as the background there. Now we can see that element of the praying hands I selected earlier. And I can even resize this just to make it take up more space in this image so it fills it out. There we go. Now, what you'll notice though is that they conflict with each other. There's a high contrast between the background image and the praying hands graphic that I added, and it doesn't really go very well together. You can also make this transparent. So I'm going to show you both things, the layering and the transparency together. So now that I've got a background image and a graphic added to this, there's a toolbar at the very top for you to further edit this image and tweak it and make it what you need it to be. The position button in this top toolbar opens up the option to see the different layers of this image. And by layers, we're talking about all the different elements, like the background and the different graphics that you add to it, but some of them can be stacked on top of each other, essentially. So if I need to access any different, like a specific element within this image, instead of trying to click on it, because if I were to max this out, let's say I expand it to cover the whole image, well, now it's going to be pretty difficult to select the background because this is in the way. So if I need to select the background, I can go to the position menu, select these layers, and choose what element from within this image here in this menu on the left that I need to make further edits to. Another benefit of this is you may add multiple elements to an image, and one element may cover another so much that you don't even see that initial element anymore just because it's shrouded by the new thing that you've added to it. And so you almost forget that it's there. By going to this layers menu, you're able to see everything within the project that you're creating so that you don't lose anything or add something unintentionally. Now, let's say I want to fix the fact that these two are conflicting with each other and there's too high a degree of contrast, and to make it a little more cohesive and better looking. I've already selected the background. There's an option to make your elements transparent. You can select an element within this project and make it a little more transparent. So just select this little grid here in the top toolbar, and it gives me the option to make something in this image a little more transparent. So if I bring this down to 20% transparency, now the praying hands really stand out, but you still get the effect of the image that I added earlier of the people praying around the Bible. So now it looks better. The background is softer so that the element on top of that stands out a little bit better, and it doesn't look as harsh on the eyes. That's the basics of adding and creating images in Canva. There's other tools here that are going to help you. You can even draw or add things to an image, but I'm gonna let you explore some of those features and add that yourself. And again, we have more detailed videos on our YouTube channel that cover some of that content. But let's go a little bit further and show you some really cool tips and tricks for making really great images very quickly and sharing them online. So whenever you're in an image and you want to create something that matches your church's branding, not everything you create will fit the same color palette, the fonts, or use the logo for your church. But sometimes you do need to create something that you're going to post online that needs to really represent your church and fit what everything else your church is doing and how it's presenting itself to the world. So if you want to make an image that fits your church's brand, go to the brand kit, and in this color palette, if I hover the mouse over that color palette, there's a shuffle button. This is something I learned pretty recently in Canva. If I select that shuffle button, it then changes the image and applies my church's branding to that image very quickly. So I don't have to think through exactly how to match this up, what's the most cohesive way to brand this image. Canva's artificial intelligence and machine learning that they've programmed into their program, not to use program twice, that will actually apply your branding in a way that's very intuitive and very smart and cohesive. And I can do this multiple times. I can click that shuffle button again and it'll make slight changes until I find something that I think is very satisfying and fits what I'm trying to create. I call this quick branding. I don't think that's what Canva calls it, but it just makes it very fast, or makes the process of branding an image really, really quick and easy. So I highly recommend you click that shuffle button in the color palette whenever you need to make something that fits your church's branding specifically. Now, once you're done creating your image and you're really satisfied with what you have and you're done with it, now you have to share it. You can't just leave it here in Canva. You actually have to take it and put it somewhere else, like on social media or in the announcement slides during a service, or even use it for physical media like banners and posters and flyers. The way to do that is to select the share button in the top right-hand corner. And there's a couple of options. If I select the See All button in this menu, it opens up even more options for how to share this image. And there's this section here for social media. You can link your church's social media accounts to Canva. That way you can directly upload an image you create in Canva to that social media platform. It just makes it really fast and simple and saves you a lot of time, especially if you're trying to throw something together really quickly and you need to get it out there very fast. You can just do it straight from Canva rather than downloading it, logging into that other platform and uploading it there. But if you need to download it, let's say you're creating an image for the sermon slides, just like I showed you that sermon title card. If you're creating something like that and then you need to put it somewhere like in that slideshow for your service, you can just download it. So if I'm in that main share menu, instead of going to See All, there's an option to download it. From here, you can download it as a JPEG, as a PNG if you need it to be really detailed and sharp, especially on a large screen like you would have when you're projecting it for the announcement slides or for the sermon slides in your service. But you can also print it as a PDF or even upload or download it as a MP4 video. I'll talk a little bit more about video here in just a minute, but you can download it as a video if you're doing some video content. So that's how to quickly share an image or a design that you've created in Canva and get it out there to the rest of the world. That's the basics of how to use Canva and how to very quickly brand things and share it. But I haven't even gone into the full extent of what you can use Canva for at your church. For instance, you can use Canva to create church swag, like t-shirts and mugs. So if I go back to the main page, the dashboard, I should say, for your Canva account, there's an option here, like a toolbar of different designs that you can create. And it's usually offering something that you're probably more likely to suggest if it's using your history to suggest what you want to create. But if I go to the More menu, there's a list here, or a menu on the left, of different products that you can create or design. There's a print products menu. And I want to show this out. You can create stickers, you can create envelopes that are branded for your church. You can even do posters, t-shirts, photo books, gift certificates, hoodies. I've seen churches use Canva to create mugs and hats and pins and bracelets. Honestly, you can search any of these things in the very top here and it'll give you some options or suggestions for what to design. So if I select the t-shirt option, let's say you want to create t-shirts to have in the shop in the welcome area for members to buy, or even just to give to new guests. You can use this to create bumper stickers for your members and everything. All I have to do is select one of these designs. Again, Canva's the power of Canva is in its templates. You can select one of these designs and then make further edits to this design And once you're done with this design and you've tweaked it and added your logo and made it what you want it to be, and even like quickly, I'll just quickly throw together some branding for this image. There we go. Once I have the branding and it's what I want it to be and I feel really satisfied with it, then I can select the Print with Canva button. It's right next to that Share button. And it gives me a preview of this design so I can actually see what it's going to look like and make sure it fits what I want it to be, and it matches the branding and it looks nice. Within this preview, if I want to take it even further, like I can actually expand this just so it stands out even more. That's what's really cool about that preview, is if you make a design and you're not satisfied with how big it is or how it stands out, I can expand it even further. There we go. And then I can center it again. And this actually shifts it within that preview and makes a difference with how it's displayed in that on the shirt as a final product. So there's the preview on the right. It may take a few seconds for it to load. It's a little bit hard to see just because of the color scheme. So let me see if I can find something a little bit brighter to make it stand out. I think that orange will probably pop a little bit on her shirt in that preview. There we go. So now it stands out. If I were to drag this image up and down, let me highlight everything again. There we go. If I drag this around, it even changes its position in that preview. So that's actually how you can design this, customize it, make it fit exactly what you need it to be. Whenever you're creating like products for your church, printed physical products, you can use Canva for that. I won't show you this, but you can, because it takes a lot of detail and a lot of time to cover this, but because video editing is pretty extensive in its own right. But you can use Canva to edit videos. If you've subscribed to our YouTube channel, you've probably seen some shorts that we've produced and posted recently. I've been editing all of those shorts here in Canva. So Canva can really take your media to the next level and allow you to create a lot of really great print media, digital media, and physical media for your church, and make your branding really cohesive and very easy to stay on top of. That's how to use Canva for your church. If you need help, send us a support ticket or visit churchtrac.com/support.